It's week 7 of the NFL season, and we are back with another edition of Game Day Gambles over here on the KC Sports Authority podcast. He's Greg, I'm Keegan, and welcome into another episode. If you're checking us out over here on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below to tune in, lock in every week for our Game Day Gambles episodes. Where right now in the NFL, we are kicking some serious tail. Last week, Greg said the theme was Road Warriors, and my gosh, did the road teams clean up last week? I believe we went 6-1 in our plays, if I'm
We
not
went
mistaken.
6-1, and we made some money again. We have been on fire for the first 6 weeks. So we thank you all who are listening, but tell a friend. Let's make some money. Let's make DraftKings and FanDuel hate us. Let's keep taking their money.
And keep up with those TD round robins. We are gonna hit one of these. I think we were one short on your big one. I played my own separate one. I was one short. So we'll have another one here at the end of the episode for you. But yeah, NFL week 7. Let's kick things off. Thursday night football. We've got the Denver Broncos who have turned their season around drastically in the last couple of weeks. Bo Nix doesn't look amazing, but he's been finding ways to win on the road at the New Orleans Saints, who are Derek Carrless. Spencer Rattler got the start last week, which we talked about. Did okay. Two rookie quarterbacks. Somehow the Saints are a 2.5-point dog at home. Quick thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I think they're a 2.5-point dog because of the defense. I mean, the Saints have the worst defense in the league when you're looking at yards per game. They're giving up 411 yards. Denver has the 5th best D when you're looking at that stat, giving up 304. I know they're going on the road. Both offenses aren't the best, but Derek Carr is not playing. Olave looked like he got banged up. So give me Denver on the road to cover the 3. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to play well. I think they got it figured out. Sean Payton's got it figured out.
Yep, I'm with you there. Denver is 3-0 against the spread on the road this year. The only, I think, one or maybe two other teams are 3-0 against the spread on the road. Denver is one of them. Better coaching. Even if they don't put up a ton of points, their defense is pretty solid. Surtain looks like he's going to be out, but the Saints are also missing a couple guys on their side too. So I love that one there. Do we care about the London game this week?
I got no opinion in that game.
Yeah, okay. Skip it over.
Yeah, it's a garbage line. I don't trust either team, but just, no thanks.
Good. We'll skip it. Tennessee, Buffalo. Buffalo's been anywhere between an 8 to 9-point favorite. They just got Amari Cooper this week. Don't know how much he's going to play. Josh Allen at home against the Tennessee Titans, whose offense is abysmal. Good defense. Is this an easy blowout?
I mean, it could be. This is a game for me that if you're looking at a teaser play or a money line parlay, you throw the Bills in, figuring they're going to win this game. But as far as the spread, this is a pass for me.
Moving along, Houston at Green Bay. Again, two teams with young quarterbacks that have both looked pretty solid throughout the season. Green Bay's really good at home. That's why they're 2.5-point favorites. I think I'm still leaning the Packers here until CJ Stroud can prove he can go on the road in a tough environment consistently against a team that they should be better on in theory on paper, but something about Green Bay's offense is just clicking on all cylinders. Doesn't matter which wide receivers complaining that week about their target share. They've got 4 or 5 dudes that can score. So I think I'm going to lean the Packers here.
I am actually with you on this one. I love the Packers this week at home. And here's something that I don't think a lot of people would guess. Packers actually average more offensive yards and points than the Texans. They are 4th in yards, where the Texans are 5th, right behind. But in points per game, Green Bay's averaging 27. Houston's averaging 23.8. And when you flip that down to defense, Green Bay's defense is giving up less points a game. Probably why they're a 2.5-point favorite. They're at home at Lambeau. Give me Jordan Love to keep the love going.
And Love is going to, I think, win back his potential MVP case. Again, I said at the beginning of the year, I have a flyer on him for MVP. And I think he is going to continue to do that because he throws 300 yards, 3 touchdowns almost every week. And the funny thing about CJ Stroud, if you're looking at it on paper, him and Justin Fields, statistic-wise, not really much different. Looked at completely differently, but on theory or on paper, CJ Stroud's had the same season Justin Fields has had. So I like that one there. Miami, Indianapolis. Puke.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest, most appealing game, but here's what I'll say to everyone. Until the Dolphins have a quarterback, I would keep betting against them. So I will probably find myself going to the window and betting Indy this week, given
Yeah,
the
not
3.
an entertaining game, but Joe Flacco, again, 2 weeks in a row, has looked solid. He's probably going to play again this week unless Richardson looks better. The Colts are banged up, but again, home game, better defense. No one has been able to get Tyreek Hill involved since Tua went out, so I like that there. Another interesting one, Seahawks on the road at Atlanta, two teams that are kind of that middle of the pack, have potential to win the division, but could also get blown out the rest of the year and lose. Atlanta opens as a 3-point favorite, just a classic field goal gotcha game here at home. I actually like Seattle in this spot. I think they need to bounce back. Despite Atlanta's offense improving, I think Seattle's defense needs a statement game. And I think this is one of those games where matchup wise, they could go in and get the job done. So they're going to be one of my road favorites this week. I cut out, so I'm going to keep talking until hopefully his
My
volume
back?
comes back in.
Uh-oh.
If he gets back in, we'll jump on that. But I'm going to move along to Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota 5-0 on the year, one of the best starts to the season they've had, considering that Sam Darnold's the quarterback. Detroit, one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, one of the favorites to win the NFC side. Good offense against a really good defense. 1.5-point road dog is Detroit. I think I actually like them to be the team to upset Minnesota this week, divisional game. I think Minnesota's gotten by for a while, and I don't think they're going to get exposed, but Detroit's offense is just clicking and firing on all cylinders. They've got two guys that can get in the end zone at any given moment. So I'm going to lean Detroit here. Greg, let's try that again.
All right. Look, I'm talking to you, Keegan. I heard what you said about the Seahawks, and I'm talking to you, one of our listeners, Jimmy Verga. Seahawks suck. Okay, they are not good. I don't like them. The Atlanta, I think, is actually pretty good. If you look at the offenses, they're pretty comparable, but the Falcons average more. They're at home, and the defenses, the Falcons have a better D. Plain and simple, Falcons win this game. Give me the Falcons. Now, to answer your question about Detroit, love where you're at. Detroit, they are going to give Minnesota their first loss. Did you see what they did last week? And by the way, this podcast told you they were going to blow Dallas out. We told
that
you
we did.
They are going to go to Minnesota and they are going to win that game. Give me the Lions.
Yeah,
Easily.
To me, Detroit's the second best team in the NFL right now. I know the record doesn't say it, but Detroit, they get it done. I mean, I don't know if this is in your round robin TD here later, but David Montgomery every single week until he doesn't get a touchdown, you should keep betting it. I love that one there. Another interdivisional game here. We got the Bengals on the road to take the Cleveland Browns on. Cleveland, who might get some Chubb action this weekend with Nick Chubb back in the lineup potentially, but they're in a 5.5-point dog at home to Cincinnati. I think this game might end up closer because it's a divisional game, but Cincinnati I think is starting to get going, and this could get ugly real fast.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't great, right, Keegan? Like, is Deshaun Watson still the quarterback?
He just lost his top wide receiver to Amari Cooper, which I actually think if you're going for some single plays this week, I do really love anything you can get on Jerry Jeudy because the Bengals secondary is awful and Jeudy has some insane speed. So I do actually think, despite losing Amari Cooper, this is a decent matchup for Cleveland, especially if their run game provides anything. So doesn't give me hope that they win the game, but I think Jerry Jeudy could have a monster day.
Probably not betting it, to be honest. Probably a pass for me. But if Deshaun Watson's still playing quarterback, give me the Bengals in a romp.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Deshaun Watson, worst contract. We've said it week after week. Worst contract in the NFL. Somebody said that they should talk the Patriots into, hey, we'll give you Deshaun Watson and our first round pick this year just to take his contract and cut him. Moving along. Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants. Not super thrilled about this game. Giants is a 3-point dog at home is, I think, more telling of the Eagles than it is of the Giants. Still not sure if Malik Neighbors is going to be playing this game or not. I love Wan'Dale Robinson from a props perspective. He's getting a lot of targets. Is this one you're betting or are you passing?
I agree with everything you just said right there. Until I know the injury situation, I am going to sit on the sidelines until I see what the injuries look like. I lean the Giants, to be honest, because I don't think the Eagles are very good.
Yeah. Raiders, Rams, anything you want to touch on there? It's not. I mean,
That's a
I'm
pass.
shocked that the Rams are 6.5-point favorite despite their injuries. So yeah, pass there.
Pass.
Panthers at Commanders. Commanders, despite the loss, they still look pretty decent against Baltimore. In all honesty, Panthers are going nowhere fast. Dalton's looked better, of course, than Bryce Young, but they've also gone back to Bryce Young. Commanders is 8.5. I don't know if this is your feeling, but I think this could be a double-digit win for Commanders, and I might tease this line up even higher. This could be
Yeah.
a 31-10 blowout.
For me, this is one. If I'm looking at a teaser, I'm probably putting the Commanders in and building around the Commanders. I don't think there's a way they lose this game. I agree with you. They look great against the Ravens. If a few things bounced their way, they could have won that game. So I think they played. I think they played great in Baltimore, and I think they just showed they are probably going to win the NFC East.
Yeah, which we said that last week,
2
weeks ago.
3 weeks ago,
and I think now they're the betting favorite for the division currently at minus odds. All right, I'm going to call this the game of the week just because I'm a Chiefs fan, Kansas City fan, and I think NFL wise, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on the Chiefs on the road, take on the 49ers. Chiefs 1.5-point favorite on the road. I think this is the game the Chiefs possibly lose. To me, there is no benefit of this game on the Chiefs side. So win or lose, this has virtually no impact on them. 49ers desperately need this game to feel like they can beat the Chiefs, which also then makes me want to say bet the Chiefs still anyway. San Francisco's got a pretty good defense. I don't know how the offense is going to look this week. Juju had a great game last week. Don't think that happens back-to-back weeks. So I could see this being a game that the Chiefs just kind of putter around, kick a few field goals, get a touchdown or two, and that they still actually lose. But then you could also easily talk me into 28-17 Chiefs win. So I'm all over the place on this.
What's the pick? I got to hear your pick.
If we're going on the spread, the Chiefs, I'm sorry, the Chiefs swung. Last time I looked at this, they were a 1.5-point favorite. Now they're a 1.5-point dog. All right, give me the Chiefs to cover.
So you'll take the Chiefs and hope they lose by 1. Well, I thought we were going to have it, everyone. I thought we were finally going to get a Keegan pick against the Kansas team, but we didn't get it. So I'll level set everyone. Yes, this is a 49ers easy play for me. 49ers win this game. Like I keep saying, you can't win them all. You're not going 17-0. This is a game that makes sense for me for Kansas City to lose. Give me the Niners at home to beat Kansas City.
Yeah, again, I might keep my eye on this throughout the rest of the week and see where that line ends up. But Chiefs are still pretty good against the spread. And Mahomes doesn't really show up poorly in these types of games. But moving along, Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers has got his guy. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got Garrett Wilson on the other side. He's got Mike Williams running the wrong routes. Don't know if he'll suit up this week. He might get traded. Does the Devontae Adams trade? Does he even play this week? Is that enough to go into Pittsburgh as a 1.5-point favorite still and come out on top? Or is Pittsburgh going to show that the Jets are still a laughingstock of a franchise and pull this game out despite the fact that Russell Wilson might be the starting quarterback?
So the line out here actually has moved to 2.5, and I am on board. The Jets win this game. Devontae Adams is absolutely going to play. I heard him talk this week. The playbook is virtually the same. The cadence is the same. He'll be out there. He took a red eye the minute he was traded, so he wants to play.
Yeah, he was there quick.
Yeah, he was there quick. He wanted nothing to do with Vegas, everything to do with Aaron. He will be there. They will be better. Now you got 2 top receivers you got to defend. Yeah, I think they cover the 2.5. I think Pittsburgh is one of those teams that's going to finish around that 10-7, 9-8. They're maybe sneaking as a wild card, but I think this now coupled with the Jets defense makes the Jets probably a playoff team.
Is this the wrong move in possibly going Russell Wilson with what Justin Fields has done this year?
100%. Russell Wilson is not a great quarterback anymore. Justin Fields is a good quarterback.
So I'm really confused on that move. It's not a Mike Tomlin move, so I think it's coming higher up from him. If this gets to 3, I think I like to. I think I would take an alternate spread of the Steelers to cover 3 because I still don't trust the Jets. The Jets should have done what we anticipate them doing last week, and they still couldn't do it. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago. I might be getting my games mixed up. No, it was
2 weeks ago. We had the Bills last week. We had the Bills to beat them on Monday.
So I don't know if I trust him there yet, but interesting one to keep an eye on. All right, Monday night, 2 more games left. Baltimore on the road at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, a 3.5-point favorite. Tampa Bay's got one of the most explosive offenses in the league, but Baltimore is really getting their groove. Harbaugh, excellent coach on the road. I think the Ravens still get this done on a Monday night. I saw this stat earlier. Lamar Jackson is undefeated in primetime games against the NFC.
100% agree. I think you said they were the dog, but the Ravens are actually the 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I meant to say Tampa at home as a 3.5-point dog.
Doesn't matter to me. I think the Ravens have got it going. I think they're going to get it rolling, and I think they easily cover the 3.5. Give me the Ravens. And in the second game, look, I'm rolling with Harbaugh. Captain Comeback's my guy until he loses. Herbert's playing well. He's game managing. He's got a former quarterback as his head coach finally who knows what he's doing. Give me the Chargers, given the 2.5 at the terrible Arizona Cardinals.
I love that, and I'm going to do you one better because this I've seen some talk on this today. Parlay the Harbaughs.
Love it.
To cover plus 263 right now. The Ravens to cover, Chargers to cover. And if you don't like that and you just want to go straight money line, it's plus 161. So I would be surprised if we don't see some promos in the next couple of days of Harbaugh parlays. So
do it.
That is the bets for week 7 of the NFL. And of course, we got to end you here with our ever so fun round robin.
All right, so here's where we're going with this week. This is gonna be the week. Laporta's getting in the end zone. I mean, how do you not get this guy in the end zone? Goff, get him in the end zone for us. Laporta goes in. I mean, are we kidding? Amari Cooper's definitely getting a touchdown now. Josh Allen's going to welcome with a touchdown. Come on. Josh Jacobs, I thought he was going to get in last week. He didn't. He's getting in this week for Green Bay. They threw so many passes last week. I think Love had 4 passing TDs. It'll flip a little bit this week. They'll run some in. Give me Jacobs. You mentioned it earlier in the show. This will be the week. I don't think they win, but this will be the week Tyreek Hill gets in the end zone. He'll find a way to get in. And then we're going to end with this one. Sorry, Kansas City. But this tight end gets in. Not Kelsey, Kittle. Kittle and Kelsey have a great relationship. Kittle will want to score against his boy. Give me Kittle to get in the end zone and complete a 5-man robin.
I love it. I like it. I'm going to put another one out there. I'm working on I need one more to add to it, but a new faces in new places. Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper. I'm going to cheat a little bit if they'll actually put up there. Cam Akers for Minnesota, coming back to Minnesota, and then Jerry Jeudy for the Browns. Not new face, new place, but Jerry Jeudy there. So yeah, I'm going to work on one of those two to send out. But yeah, these round robins are fun. What is it? What are the numbers we're throwing here?
So this is a little less this week because we're going with more stars, more favorites. So you throw the 20 out there, it'll return you about $750.
And for those that have watched this previously, we're not taking, depending on how many legs you're adding to us, you're not taking one on every single because you're going to throw a ton of bets out there. We're usually picking 2 of the lesser dollar amount plays for more bets, and then a little bit more juice on the overall. One of these is going to hit. Greg said it last week. If one of these 5-man hits, you're going to make money the entire year off of one play. So whether it's ours or you do another one, keep playing them every single week because one's bound to hit. I see way too many tweets every week about somebody hitting a monster TD play. Another one I'm going to send out later this week is a 3x2 of 3 guys that scored 2 touchdowns. There was like 6 players this last week that hit 2 touchdowns. I'm going to see if I can do that this week on a lesser play. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for week 7 of the NFL Best Bets. Make sure you're liking, subscribing to the podcast over here on YouTube. Over 1,000 subscribers officially now, and super pumped for that. And thank you for all of you that have listened and watched so far. Would love to see us pick up some more subscribers for the gambling side of the content we're doing because we're not getting quite enough views. And there's a lot of you out there that are subscribed and are not making money if you're not watching these episodes. So make sure you're tuning in. Of course, you can hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KCSA Pod. Share with us any of your plays. Send us a question you might have about fantasy football or any upcoming games. And keep an eye out. We are 2.5 weeks away from college basketball, 2 weeks away from, less than 2 weeks away from the start of the NBA season. So basketball betting is coming, and it's going to be coming fast, and we're going to have it in here mixed in with NFL. We might do some crossover plays. But yeah, Greg, got anything else for the listeners before we get out of here?
Nope. Cash some tickets, everybody, and tell a friend.
Cash some tickets. All right. We appreciate you guys as always, and we'll catch you next episode.